Hey everyone, welcome in. This session is part of 60 days of data and AI powered by community. So first off, thank you for showing up and being part of this. If you haven't already, jump into the fun. Today we are talking about something I get asked constantly. DP-700 passed. Now what? I am Parul, and as a two-time Microsoft Fabric super user, I have been on both sides of this. I have cleared the exam, and I have also had to figure out what actually happens after the certificate lands in my inbox. So this session is about closing that gap between passing an exam and building real production grade solutions. First, congratulations. Seriously, you have proven you understand data loading patterns, architecture decisions, and orchestration well enough to pass a tough exam. But here is the honest truth. The exam tests your knowledge, production tests your judgment. Today we are going to walk through Microsoft Fabric, data engineering, and the production patterns that take you from I passed a test to I ship real solutions. Once you pass DP-700, your job title doesn't really change overnight, but your responsibility does. You are not just someone holding a certificate anymore. You are a data engineer who designs, secures, and optimizes analytic solutions, working alongside architects, analysts, and administrators. That really breaks down into three things: ingesting and transforming data reliably using SQL, PySpark, and KQL, securing and governing it with sensitivity labels, permissions, and compliance, and monitoring and optimizing it using DMVs, capacity metrics, and profiling, catching issues before they turn into outages. Let us start with segment 1, and this is one of the most important to reframe. Fabric isn't just an analytics tool, it is a platform. This segment covers workspace management, Git integration, deployment pipelines, capacity, SKUs, sensitivity labels, and PowerShell automation. Basically, the platform skills sitting behind every enterprise Fabric deployment. And here is a trap a lot of people fall into. ALM isn't just I use source control. It also means understanding the PBIP file format, running impact analysis before you make a breaking change, and actually reading the capacity metrics app so you catch throttling early instead of after your users complain. Let us zoom out on ALM because it is bigger than most people expect. It is the full promotion path from development to production plus every safety check along the way. 4 pieces to know. The PBIP format gives you a Git trackable project structure. Source control gives you version history, branching, and pull request. Deployment pipelines manage your development to test to production promotion. And impact analysis lets you check dependencies before you delete or change anything, so you are not breaking something downstream without knowing it. 4 things that keep a Fabric environment healthy and compliant. Capacity SKUs range from F2 for light workloads all the way up to F64 for enterprise scale. You choose based on concurrency and refresh demand. The capacity metrics app lets you monitor CPU, memory, and throttling so you catch bottlenecks before they become outages. Sensitivity labels let you classify and protect data, enforcing compliance at the workspace level. And the on-premises gateway bridges Cloud Fabric with your on-prem sources so you can run scheduled refreshes securely. Now into segment 2, Lakehouse versus Warehouse. Lakehouse is Spark based and files first. Think of delta tables, Parquet storage, partitioning, built for data science, ML, and open format flexibility. Warehouse is TSQL and transactional, familiar ETL patterns, Stored procedures best for BI workloads and traditional data engineering. Let us go one level deeper on storage. Delta tables are asset compliant tables built on Parquet, and they support schema evolution, time travel, and audit logging. Partitioning divides your data by column values like date, so you prune, scans, and cut query cost. Reorder and optimization reorganize your Parquet files for the best read performance, and this runs automatically on write or when you trigger optimize. And shortcuts give you virtual references to external data, no copying required, which enables cross-domain access with zero duplication. Let us move from theory to execution on data lake fundamentals. I am loading a structured products dataset against an explicit schema, then issuing an update directly on the delta table. Notice this modifies records in place rather than rewriting the dataset. Running describe history exposes the full transaction log, giving us version level, time travel, and audit visibility. This is the operational reality behind the asset guarantees we discussed earlier. On to ingestion, and you have got 4 real tools here, not just one. Fabric data pipelines chain together copy, notebook, and stored procedure activities on scheduled triggers. This is production, not a one-off demo. Dataflows Gen 2 give you Power Query based ingestion with query folding, pushing transformations back to the source for efficiency. Notebooks give you PySpark, Python, or Pandas, ideal for complex logic and custom transformations. And Eventstream plus Eventhouse handle real-time ingestion into KQL databases. 3 transformation languages, 3 different jobs. TSQL, stored procedures, joins, triggers, is the backbone of warehouse-based transformation logic. Power Query M gives you query folding, fuzzy grouping, JSON handling, and M expression functions, and folding is critical here because it pushes your work back to the source instead of pulling everything local. And PySpark along with Pandas on Spark gives you distributed data frame APIs for large-scale transformation, with the Pandas API on Spark offering a familiar interface over Spark's engines if you are coming from a Pandas background. Let us move from concept to execution. I am defining an explicit schema, not relying on inference, since production pipelines demand predictable typing, and applying a categorization rule via when and otherwise, a pattern typical of silver layer transformation logic. Note the mode append on this right. It is a deliberate choice, not a default. This is the kind of decision making DP-700 expects you to internalize, not just recall. Let us make query folding real. Without it, Power Query pulls every row locally before filtering, and that's a nightmare once you are dealing with 25 plus tables. So always verify folding using View Native Query inside Power Query to confirm the work is actually being pushed down. Now fuzzy grouping. Here is a case I have run into myself. Course names entered inconsistently in a live Moodle MySQL database. Fuzzy matching normalizes those variants like intro to data versus data introduction before the data ever gets loaded. Let us talk about load patterns, and this is where production thinking really kicks in. SCD Type 2 preserves full history by expiring old records and inserting new ones. It never overwrites. Alongside that, incremental refresh is policy-driven partial reloads. Only new or changed rows get processed, which dramatically cuts refresh time. Pair that with automatic aggregations, pre-computed summary tables, Fabric queries when it is beneficial, and refactoring, optimizing partitioning, file sizes, and query patterns after load for sustained performance over time. When something breaks and something will break, here is your toolkit. DMVs, Dynamic Management Views, expose runtime metadata, query execution stats, resource usage, session info. SSMS and Profiler help with administration and tracing query execution to diagnose bottlenecks. Built-in Fabric lineage shows your data flow end-to-end, and impact analysis reveals exactly what breaks when a source changes. And data source management covers gateway configuration, credential management, and connectivity troubleshooting across on-prem and cloud sources. Know these tools and troubleshooting stops being guesswork. You have almost certainly heard of Medallion architecture, so let us ground it in Fabric terms. Bronze is raw, unprocessed data ingested as is schema on RAID, full history preserved. Silver is cleansed, deduplicated, and validated with query folding applied. This is your data ready for transformation. And gold is aggregated, business ready tables optimized for semantic models and reports. Bronze, silver, and gold, raw to refined to reportable. Segment 3 is where a lot of candidates underestimate the depth. This domain tests your model design decisions, not just DAX syntax. 3 things to really internalize. First, direct lake versus direct query versus import. It is a decision tree that shows up again and again. And direct lake is the default, but you need to know the fallback conditions cold. Second, DAX user-defined functions. Reusable logic through info.user-defined functions, letting you refactor repeated measures into clean, reference-typed UDFs using column reference, measure reference, and table reference. And third, large semantic models, calculation partitions, semantic model scale-out, and the query performance analyzer, your tools for models operating at enterprise scale. Segment 4 shifts the focus. This domain is about delivering the story, not just building the model. The real question is, can you produce output stakeholders actually use? Paginated reports give you pixel-perfect operational output. Think invoices, regulatory filings, scheduled exports. And report theming gives you consistent branding at scale. Custom SVG canvas backgrounds take that further than the exam actually requires, but honestly, it is the right instinct to build. Segment 5 is real-time intelligence, and this is where Fabric gets genuinely exciting for streaming scenarios. You are ingesting and analyzing streaming data with Eventstream, KQL databases, real-time dashboards, and activators. On the ingestion side, Eventstream configuration is about tuning throughput, setting retention policies, and enforcing schema validation for data quality. And stream processing covers windowing, aggregation, filtering, and CDC for real-time change capture. Then on the analysis side, Eventhouse optimization means indexing frequent fields, partitioning by attribute, and optimizing KQL queries with execution plans, while real-time dashboards connect Eventhouse to instant alerts and actions. Now let us move from batch to streaming. I am defining a structured stream against incoming device status events and writing that stream directly to a Delta sync. This isn't a scheduled job. It is a continuously running stream, appending records as they arrive. This is the mechanism underpinning real-time intelligence in Fabric, ingest, process, and purchased within a single pipeline. So what does this actually look like end-to-end? Fabric's real-time intelligence layer gives data engineers a unified platform for streaming analytics, built on 4 pieces working together. Eventstreams ingest and route high-volume event data from diverse sources. The KQL database lets you query and analyze that streaming data using custom query language. Real-time dashboards visualize live metrics and KPIs with sub-second latency. An activator triggers automated actions based on real-time event conditions. Ingest, query, visualize, act, that's the loop. Real-time dashboards connect directly to your KQL databases, giving you sub-second refresh rates for live operational views. In practice, that means pinning KQL query results as visual tiles, configuring auto-refresh intervals for live data, using time range parameters for dynamic filtering, and sharing dashboards across teams with role-based access. These dashboards update in near real time, which makes them ideal for monitoring SLAs, catching anomalies, and tracking operational KPIs as they happen. Activator is where insight becomes action. It monitors your event streams and triggers automated responses the moment defined conditions are met. You trigger actions, automate responses like sending alerts, updating records, calling webhooks, or invoking data factory pipelines. And you monitor and iterate, tracking activation history, refining your rules, and reducing false positives over time. So here is the honest wrap-up. Certification is the starting line, not the finish line. The real learning happens when you rebuild a case study scenario end-to-end with real data, like a live Moodle LMS dataset, applying every pattern we covered across these 5 segments. Do that and you have moved from certified to production ready. That is a wrap. Thank you so much for watching and spending this time with me. Thanks again and see you in the next one.